how can existing businesses become positively impactful? That's where the gold is, that's where the opportunity is, but that's where it's really difficult. When we talk about 3x, 10x, 3 times the size, 10 times the positive impact, they are intrinsically linked. Okay, so there's no 3x without 10x, and there's no 10x without 3x. So we don't do 3x 3 or 4 days a week, 10x on a Thursday and Friday. 3x, 10x is just part of how we run our business. When we talk about 3x driving 10x, so 3x gives us the fuel as we grow and as we scale. It allows us to have more positive impact. We're very fortunate in the businesses that we are currently in is predominantly in the health and social care space. So they have a very concrete and a very demonstrable social impact in just delivering their services. It helps us attract and retain top talent. We have 5,000 people around the world. But those people want to feel like they're working for a business that is focused on positive environmental and social impact as well as being commercially successful. So that helps us retain talent. At the same time, what we've seen is that increasingly top talent is coming to us because of our focus and impact. So a good example of that in the last while is, we've probably filled about 10 to 11 senior positions across the group, both in Ireland and the UK. And every single one of those people that come for interview mentioned impact as one of the reasons they wanted to work with Broadlake or with the Broadlake Group. There is always a tension. There's always a competition for capital, for investing in 10x initiatives, 3x initiatives. But the reality is we never make decisions that are either 3x or 10x. All of our decisions are made with a 3x, 10x lens. We are about 4 years into our 3x, 10x journey. It doesn't really have an end. We have already overachieved on the 3x side, and we're very close to achieving the 10x in our first 3-year iteration of it. We're now almost into cycle 2 of 3x, 10x, but it's really a mindset. So it's a way of thinking about growth and impact and positive impact for business. Measure 10x through what we call our Have Positive Impact Charter. So 4 pillars under which all of our businesses have plans with KPIs, with measurements, with targets that they track their progress towards 10x. So that Have Positive Impact Charter stands for happy places, accessibility for everyone, value in our community, and environmental urgency. And under each of those 4 pillars, every business has 3 KPIs. Those great KPIs have targets, measured metrics, and they report on them monthly. So for a new business coming into us, we spend a lot of time with them, helping them understand how core impact is to how we do business, and then helping them understand how they apply that Have Positive Impact Charter to their business and help them craft the metrics and measurements with them. For a new portfolio company, often when they join a group like ours, they don't necessarily think that that's probably one of the first things we're really looking at with them. So we do all the due diligence. We make sure they're a right fit for us, and we really focus on the people involved in that business, from the founder, entrepreneurs, to senior management. They are aligned personally, values-wise, with the focus on growth and impact. So if a business isn't focused on growth and impact, we probably won't progress with them, right? So by the time we've brought them into the group, they know our focus and impact, and quantifying social impact with them very quickly is important. We are fortunate in that we are owned and operated by our original founders. So we've 2 shareholders, both of them phenomenal entrepreneurs, both of them 100% focused on growth and impact. But we are now growing to a scale where we're still year 1, we're growing up a little bit. So not a lot, but a little bit. We still want to maintain our kind of entrepreneurial rigor, our entrepreneurial mindset, but we are putting in place kind of structures and processes and people that allow us to kind of scale quickly while maintaining our entrepreneurial mindset. We have a thing called SWOT when we hire people. So skill, will, ambition, and fit. Lots of people where we advertise a job within any of our businesses will have the skill, look at the CV, to all the right qualifications. It's great. What's more difficult, I suppose, are the other three, and the final one being the most difficult. But when we get it right, it's fantastic. Skill is kind of the baseline, right? But the interesting about skill is if you've got the other three, you can sometimes teach skill. Will is, are you up for the journey? Are you up for being challenged professionally and personally and really have the desire to realize your full potential? The ambition. So 3x, 10x is huge ambition. It's fast paced. It's a challenging environment in the best possible way. And the final one is the most important one. So fit. And how do you quantify fit? It's no idea, right? We know what we get, right? We spend a lot of time with people trying to get the right people in place, right? So the right skills with the will to grow and achieve, with the ambition to come on the 3x, 10x journey, and the fit, just that can-do attitude. And we sometimes talk about, we're looking for people like us. We don't want clones of ourselves. We don't want people from a generic pool of talent. But you do need to have a level of ambition and energy and flexibility, because we're still entrepreneurial. If you come in with a bit of a rigid mindset or a kind of a steady state mindset, Broadlake and Broadlake business is probably not the right home for you. The essence of B Corp in that we changed our constitution to remove shareholder privacy and put environment, society and stakeholder and shareholder on a level is the most important thing, I think, for us in B Corp, right? That for a lot of people looking at an investment group businesses that are run by entrepreneurs that are looking to scale quickly, there's an assumption that this is all being done for driving value for a few shareholders. The reality is we're trying to drive value for society and the environment and shareholders. So the first thing about the B Corp for us really was that legal change, that statement of intent and the type of businesses that we wanted to create. And we changed all the constitutions probably a year and a half before we actually got them certified. And for the businesses themselves, it is a great way for them to understand where they're at on their impact journey relative to international organizations that are operating to these high standards. It's a great way of them just kind of sense checking where they are on a journey. So some of them are doing phenomenal things over here, but need work over here. And the new B Corp standards where you've got to be doing it or not doing it is going to be really challenging for all of our business. Really exciting because it means that the standards that we say we're living to are externally verified, independently verified. Identifying the difference between a greenwasher and someone who's really living to impact or living to purpose. I think the first thing that gives it away is how they treat their people. If they don't really care about and don't really invest in their people, then all the other stuff is kind of a little shaky. The second thing, I suppose, would be, looking at how they treat their supply chain, customers, service users. Again, the way you treat people and the people you buy from, the way you choose to spend your money, I think is, again, very telling. And often you'll see that businesses that were very heavily green or impactful, when a financial squeeze comes on, as they can burst out of that position very quickly, or if other external factors squeeze them down. So a position that you can reverse out of pretty quickly it's probably not one very strongly felt. So in the last couple of weeks, I've spent a lot of time with phenomenal social entrepreneurs and impact-focused business. And what struck me about them was that they are set up to solve a specific environmental or social issue, right? So it's at their core. And almost their reason for being is to do that. And that they will become hugely successful businesses. People want to work for them. They'll be brilliant. Now, if you think about their kind of entrepreneurs on the outside of the establishment, right? Then you've got all the entrepreneurs inside the establishment, or you've got the existing businesses. And for me, the opportunity is in how do we change those businesses from the inside? How do we create successful businesses in the traditional sense? So revenue, EBITDA, profitability, employing people, contributing to tax, scaling and proving that you can run a really good business in the traditional sense, while also integrating that focus on making society better, helping to contribute to cleaning up the environment, ultimately to moving beyond negatives to kind of zeros to positives, so that how can existing businesses become positively impactful? That's where the gold is, that's where the opportunity is, but that's where it's really much easier to set up a new business that has purpose, impact, whatever you want to call it, at the heart. It's much more difficult for existing businesses to start to look at their total operations, how they engage with people, what they produce, and for them to fundamentally change that while also keeping the company alive, keeping people employed, and all the good stuff the companies do. Sycophantically, I really admire Pete Smith and Brian Perley, the two founders of this. They are phenomenal entrepreneurs with an impact heart at the core of what they're trying to do. And I think if I didn't admire them as leaders, I wouldn't be working with them. And so the other week, I was at a conference that Eamon Ryan was speaking at, and it just struck me that as an Irish leader, the clarity of where he wants the country to go, while at the same time trying to be as accommodating and collaborative with all other stakeholders, regardless of their viewpoints. It struck me, I hadn't heard him speak in a while, and I just kind of thought, do you know what? We're missing people like him now in political life. You don't have to be a Green supporter, but people who have a very clear vision of where they think things should go, while at the same time we're able to listen to others, take other people's viewpoints and look for some kind of coalition, collaboration, but bring people with them. I think that's the type of leaders I like. We're launching the Broadlake Foundation in the next couple of weeks. The foundation is focused on working with high potential, impactful organizations to help them scale their impact. So bringing our 3X thinking to their 10X activities. It's €1 million a year plus 2,000 hours of expertise from across our group of business. While the €1 million is a huge amount of money, the real value is in access to our people to help scale these high potential organizations. So everything from CEO mentoring, strategy, brand, marketing, finance, commercial, technology, people and culture. So bringing the expertise from across our 10 businesses to help these impactful organizations to scale. Look at the week, we're trying to get a sense of what's coming up that week. I left a semi-state job to go to a startup. Are people getting on? Are people happy? Are we working together? Doesn't mean you have to be best friends. Doesn't mean things have to be perfect. But in general, are people happy? A standard of running a business that has potential to change the world. When to shut up. Compassion.